Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar, run for the UKV, have a look at the precipitation and the temperature over the next 5 days, as it is looking like it is going to be turning a lot warmer and a lot drier as we progress through this upcoming working week. Unfortunately, through Bank Holiday Monday we are still likely to see some showers, potentially even heavy and thundery showers, but from Tuesday onwards it is going to be turning drier for all, and come the end of the week we could be seeing temperatures getting widely into the low 20s. Wouldn't even rule out a 24 or 25 degree come Friday, Saturday or Sunday. As we have a look at the longer range though, we are, at the moment, we're not thinking that this warmer, dry weather is going to last much more than the next 7 days. Around the 10-day time frame, we are seeing pretty strong consensus now that we are going to be seeing low pressure return, not only with fresher air masses, but also with precipitation. So we are going to see a period of warm, dry conditions, summer-like conditions, but it is likely to change around the middle of the month. It could be a small blip, it could be something a little bit longer. Can't really say with too much detail at this stage because of the uncertainty. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, to like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well. The link's in the description. Now, if we start on the live radar, you can see it's been a very mixed day, depending on where you are, really. Across parts of Scotland, we've seen more heavy showers and some thunderstorms in places, and you can see again there are some remnants of rain through this evening. Further southwards, we have seen some rain pushing in, but it's been mainly for the southwest, and as it pushed northwards and eastwards, it has lost its intensity, just generally brought a bit of thicker cloud. But for most, at least this morning, for many central areas, for the Midlands, Northern England, it's been really quite nice out there. Wall-to-wall sunshine before that cloud moved in the afternoon, and temperatures getting up towards the 20-degree point. Now, it's not been as warm as it's going to be later this week, but we've seen the first glimpses of what we could be seeing widely through today, and we'll probably see some more glimpses tomorrow. Now, to put in the temperatures, it is later this evening now, so you can see the temperatures are dropping off, but you can see where it has been warmest today, away from that cloud and lighter rain in the southwest. Pretty much London northwards, we've seen temperatures into the high teens, widely up towards the 20-degree mark, and that continues further northwards. In these areas, it's still in the low teens. It will drop away with clearer skies. It is, of course, still early May, so we still have the possibility of seeing some fresh conditions overnight, but we're expecting those temperatures to rise once again through tomorrow afternoon. But unfortunately, tomorrow triggering a few showers and some thunderstorms. Now, if you start on the well, let's have a look at the latest UKV and start on the precipitation over the next 5 days. You can see we've got this rain that's lingering through this evening in the far southwest, but it will slowly dissipate over tonight, and the same can be said for the rain across parts of Scotland. As we head into the early hours of Monday, we could start to see the first areas of heavy showers and some thunderstorms heading into the southeast there. A couple areas of very heavy rain. Uncertain how widespread it will be and how far inland it will move. But you can see quite strong consensus here from the UKV that that area of precipitation will slowly edge inland. And then as we head into the mid-morning to the early afternoon, we're going to likely see quite a few heavy, thundery showers breaking out on the northern and western edge of that main area of rain in the southeast. Now, that rain, as said, across the southeast, it could be more extensive, it could be less extensive, very difficult to say, but you can see it's got plenty of cloud around with it, so I think definitely in the south and east it's probably not going to be particularly warm tomorrow. Further northwards and westwards, we are likely to see warmer conditions, but then we are going to see quite a few showers around, which will cool it down. So again, glimpses of some summer-like conditions tomorrow where you avoid the showers, but I must say most will be affected by a shower at some point through tomorrow. Can see some reds in these showers, which is indicating that there is a thundery risk within these, but you can see as we get into the late afternoon, they do start to dissipate away, and overnight, pretty much it come to nothing. As we head into Tuesday, look at this, a few showers around, but fairly isolated. Most, it's dry and it is warm, and you can see there is plenty of sunshine around. The one thing I have seen, as was from the latest UKV that we'll be able to see in the next few days on here, is that there is quite a lot of cloud around. Now again, these little subtle nuances sort of cloud cover can change very quickly between different runs. So when we have a look at the temperatures, they could actually be slightly higher if the sunshine is a little bit stronger. But Tuesday looking like a pretty decent day, and into Wednesday very similar. Again, the only caveat is there's a bit of rain for the far north and northwest of Scotland, and just generally thicker cloud in places. Again, that could break apart, and it will be all dependent on the exact positioning of the high pressure and that weather front further north to westwards, how far inland it comes. Now that weather front doesn't make much progress and kind of skirts over the higher pressure as we head into Thursday, and you can see again Thursday another pretty stunning day, very dry, but again quite a lot of cloud and high level cloud. Again, uncertainty how much of that we will actually see. That will make a big difference to those temperatures, whether it be 20 degrees or maybe more towards 25 degrees. But you can see as we head into Friday, quite a bit more sunshine, especially for southern and western areas, and this could allow those temperatures to rise even further, and as we'll see now, could even get, as I said, into those low to mid 20s point. You can see the upper air temperatures at the moment are around average or slightly above average for the time of year, and they're only going to slowly rise over the coming days. Some briefly fresher air moving into the north, and you'd think that would spread further inland, but because the high pressure is building up from the south through the early part of this upcoming working week, it is going to push that cold air away once again, and you can see some very warm air arriving Wednesday, Thursday, into Friday, and it's likely to last through the weekend before getting pushed away into the start of into the start of the following week. Now do go over to the max temperatures. You can see through this afternoon temperatures up towards 20 degrees, but we had since some sunshine for the Midlands, northern England, but further southwards and northwards we've seen a bit of rain, more towards the low teens. As we head into tomorrow, again, we will avoid the showers and the storms. We could see 19, 20 degrees, and maybe somewhere across northeast England, maybe Yorkshire. But again, look at the southeast, only 12 or 13 degrees for parts of Essex, Kent and London, where we do see some heavy rain developing. So again, highly regional. But as we head into Tuesday, it will become a bit more widespread, the warmth. Look at that, a lot more around that 16 to 20 or 21 degree mark. Very much weighted for the far south coast. And I think that's because that's where the warmest temperatures or upper air temperatures will be. So, of course, we'll equate to slightly warmer conditions at the surface. And, of course, a bit more in terms of sunshine. As we head into Wednesday, the warmth is pushing further northwards. We start to see high teens even into Scotland, 20 degrees for parts of northern England, and we're widely looking at sort of 17 to 20 degrees for many areas of the British Isles. And we'll really start to see the warmth build on Thursday. Most areas seeing those temperatures up towards the 18, 19 degree mark, and much of England, Wales and the Republic of Ireland towards the 20 to even as high as 22 degree mark. And I do think that when we're looking at the UKV like this, we can always add a degree or two when we see these sort of very warm late spring, early summer days. So I could even see a 23 or 24. And then finally into Friday, look at that. Widespread warmth. The northern tip of Scotland, 18, 19 degrees, down towards the south coast of England, 21 or 22, and inland we're seeing lots of 22s and 23s. I'd be very surprised if we didn't see somewhere in there getting towards 24 or even 25 degrees, and you probably can't even rule out a 26 if we did see some pretty intense sunshine. Again, that will be dependent on the cloud amount. So it does look pretty nice indeed as we head through this upcoming working week. It's not going to flick a switch to suddenly summer conditions, but from Tuesday through to Friday, every day is progressively going to get better. And by Thursday and Friday, it is looking pretty widespread indeed. And the weekend is looking like it's going to continue this trend as well. Could even be slightly warmer. Now, if you look at the latest GFS, we'll be able to see this evolve over the coming days and see what happens after this warmer spell. Now, you can see we've got low pressure around at the moment, and that's why we've seen showers around and that precipitation in the south and west, but it's fairly weak, and that's why it's all dissipating away now. High pressure builds in for Tuesday and for Wednesday, and we see the high pressure firmly in control through Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday before we start to see a bit of a change. We start to see low pressure moving in, especially into Tuesday. That's when we see a proper transition day, so maybe Monday could be decent as well, before eventually look at that much fresher and much more Atlantic driven with more unsettled lower pressure systems, and of course we would likely see some colder air mixed in with that. If you do have a look at the upper air temperatures associated with this, again you see it's not too bad the next couple of days, but really the warmth builds for Friday through Saturday and into Sunday, and could even peak through Sunday and Monday. Wouldn't be surprised to be seeing temperatures there again into the low 20s. Again, could be seeing again 18 to 21 degrees quite widely. Again, the GFS is relatively low resolution compared to the UKV, so it is likely to underdo the temperatures, and that's why we're only seeing sort of 19 to 21 degrees here. It is likely to be a couple of degrees warmer, but again, you can see the just widespread warmth and drier conditions emphasized here from the GFS. We'll wait for the UKV to really pinpoint what those temperatures could be. But you can see beyond that, when the Atlantic conditions do eventually come in into early next working week, much fresher air masses mixing in, and that will mean it will turn cooler and it will turn more unsettled. Of course, the air mass clashes will of course power weather fronts and power precipitation, unfortunately. If you look at the GM, again, it's a very similar picture. High pressure building over the next few days, peaking through Friday to Sunday. And then as we head into Monday and Tuesday, low pressure pushing in off the Atlantic, turning unsettled and cooler. Still some high pressure around, but you can see lots of fresher air masses mixing in. Upper air temperatures dropping below average once again from the above average conditions we're seeing through Sunday. So look at that, a good 4 to 6 degrees above average, and suddenly 4 to 6 degrees below average in the space of a couple of days. And that's all due to the fact that the low pressure systems in the Atlantic are finally going to be moving in. If you finish by looking at the ECMWF, again a very similar picture, high pressure building in, looking pretty stunning all the way through to Sunday, and then Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, big low pressure system parked over Scandinavia is starting to give much fresher northerly winds and just generally unsettled conditions. So you can see it's not actually the same scenario as the other runs, but it's the same in terms of low pressure breaking through. Here the low pressure is coming from the north, the other runs it was coming more from the west, but nonetheless it would be fresher and it would be more unsettled. And we see this emphasised on the latest ensembles. You can see that slow rise towards upper temperatures around the 6 or 7 degree mark above average by the end of this working week into the weekend, by around the 12th, 13th of May, so in around 7-8 days time those upper temperatures are going to peak. So this definitely looks like it could be sort of a crescendo of a warmer spell where every day it builds. Again, will be dependent on cloud amounts, but looking at the raw upper air temperatures, that's the sort of scenario we're looking at. And you can see it is relatively bone dry. A few small precipitation spikes, again, could be a few odd showers around, but generally very dry from around Tuesday through to Sunday, maybe even Monday. There, so about 6, maybe 7 days of dry and warm conditions. But then you can see the drop off, still looking above average for the majority of ensemble members, but definitely a distinct drop by about 4 or 5 degrees, and a big pickup in precipitation for next Tuesday, Wednesday time. So yeah, it does look like there will be a change. It could remain dry and warm, but we'll have to see something that changed drastically in the next day or two, or I think it's pretty much concrete now that it will be going unsettled and cooler once again. Now if we put on those 2 meter temperatures, again you can see that crescendo through the next 7 or 8 days up towards the low 20s. You can see the ensemble mean there for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, maybe even Tuesday is above 20 degrees, and some of the ensemble members are peaking at 24 to 26. Again, these are lower resolution, and they're picking up temperature predictions at 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. So again, if it comes off like the warmest ensemble members here, we could even see something higher than 25 degrees, 26, 27 degrees is plausible from the looks of this. But I think most likely it will be that low 20s widely, maybe 24, 25 at the peak. Now it can be similar if we look at the ECMWF. Again, a big upwards trend over the next week to 7 or 8 days, pretty much bone dry throughout to the 13th of May, so around 8 days time, so next Monday, and then we do see those upper temperatures drop, and we do see precipitation pick up. There is quite a lot of spread there, I must admit that. Doesn't mean it's going to definitely see low pressure push in, but I think I'm about 80-90% sure low pressure will be pushing it at this stage from the looks of these runs. But we can forget about what's happening then. We've got to enjoy the next week or so, as it is looking pretty stunning indeed. Temperatures going to reach the highest, most likely in the next sort of week or so, that they've reached all year, and reached probably since sort of last October time. So do make sure you go out and enjoy it. It is a shame that the warmer spell is arriving widely the day after a bank holiday, but we can't decide when these sort of spells happen. But do make sure, as I said, go out and enjoy. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.